Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. If you guys are new here, my name is AJ, and today I wanted to talk about my thoughts and opinions about the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie that just came out recently. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So starting off, I wanted to talk about the best part of this movie, which was the popcorn buckets. I think those popcorn buckets were pretty sick. I think my favorite two was Regal's Baby Pool and AMC's Head Pool, I believe the name was. But yeah, I think those popcorn buckets were pretty cool. Besides being so expensive, they look sick. If you got your hands on those, then yeah, that's pretty cool. But actually though, let's get into the movie itself and what my thoughts were about it. So this was the third Deadpool movie to come out, and it was the first Deadpool movie to be produced by Disney, and I'm pretty sure it was Disney's first rated R movie, which was very kind of important to this movie. The other Deadpool movies were rated R, and in this movie too, it was rated R, which kind of did make a difference in those action and fight scenes, which were probably one of the best parts in this movie and one of my favorite parts in this movie. There were a lot of action and fight scenes, and I think they were done really well in this movie. There were times where there were multiple fighters or multiple characters fighting, I should say, in these fight scenes, and I think those scenes were done really well. We had scenes where fighters or characters, were fighting like behind each other, and we were able to kind of see both their combats and stuff like that at the same time, and I think it was just done really well. It wasn't overdone or like too hard to watch and stuff, but I think those fight scenes and action scenes were probably one of my favorite parts, and maybe close to the comedy in this movie. I think the action and the comedy were probably the two main favorites about this movie. The story and the narrative weren't that strong in this movie, but I think Deadpool movies aren't really known for their story and their narratives. If you ask me what happened in the two other Deadpool movies, I probably couldn't tell you anything what really happened. I just know that I enjoyed them and they were fun to watch, and it was kind of the same in this one. I probably am gonna forget what happened, who the villain was in this in a few months, but the story was not really the main focus. The characters, the comedy, the fight was the main priority and the main focus in this movie, and I think those parts kind of really held the movie together. When it came to the story, there was kind of a lot going on. We had Deadpool trying to figure out where he belongs and where he can matter and his purpose, and we had this new Wolverine, which, before I get into it, I don't think this is a spoiler because I think it was kind of in the trailer, if I'm not mistaken, or it was kind of just known, I'm pretty sure. But if you are afraid of spoilers, maybe skip this part or come back to this video when you guys watch the movie. But this Wolverine wasn't the same Wolverine from Deadpool's universe that we get to see in Logan. But this Wolverine, he was fighting some personal issues that happened in his timeline too. So we had these Deadpool and Wolverine trying to figure out like their purpose, and then we also had the main villain in this movie. And this main villain, I don't think Marvel has been doing good with their villains, and I think this one was no exception to that. I think this villain, although she looked very strong and smart, near the end of the movie, I think it was kind of hard to understand her motives and intentions and why she was doing the stuff she was kind of doing at the end. It just kind of felt very random to me, and I guess this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but near the end of the movie, she's kind of helping Deadpool and Wolverine, and at the end of the movie, she's kind of turns that back and takes that away, which is kind of weird in my point of view. But yeah, I don't think this villain kind of made up for any of the villains that we've seen in recent Marvel movies, especially like Cap or Miss Marvel's, I believe the movie was called. That villain was kind of really bad, and this one was a little better at least, but yeah, it was not the best. Now, besides those three characters, there were a lot of cameos in this movie, and I'm talking a lot, which was fun to see on screen, but at some points it did feel a little overplayed, and it made the movie feel kind of more like a parody in a sense. But it was cool to see these characters and their fight scenes and make an appearance, but at some points it did feel a little overdone, and Other than that, though, I think the comedy and the relationship, I think Deadpool was very funny with these characters. I mean, Deadpool is always pretty funny, and one of like his best jokes kind of come from breaking the fourth wall, which he does quite a bit in this movie. And when he was breaking the fourth wall, sometimes it did feel a little like okay, Marvel, we get it. It was just kind of like it felt like Marvel was trying to tell us stuff through Deadpool, which I mean it was actually what they were kind of doing. But like near the end of the movie, for example, Deadpool was talking about the multiverse and how the fans haven't been perceiving and gravitating towards Marvel and the multiverse recently, which was kind of true. But I guess I didn't enjoy this movie that much because of this. Like, we had Deadpool talking about the multiverse, but at the same time, this movie was kind of surrounded and had a lot of aspects of the multiverse and the TVA and timelines. But yeah, in my opinion, it just didn't make sense to have Deadpool talking about all these problems with Marvel, and then this movie had all those problems in it. So it kind of seemed like they were like, we know that you guys don't like this, but we're gonna do it anyways, and you guys are gonna be okay with it because you guys like Deadpool, which is true. And I think a lot of people are just kind of not looking at these things because it wasn't a Deadpool movie and people like Deadpool. But yeah, I don't think it kind of should really or I think it shouldn't be really overlooked what Marvel was doing in this movie. And I feel like a lot of people weren't really talking about that much, but at the same time, I haven't really looked at too many reviews in the movie because I didn't want it to sway my opinions and my thoughts about it either. Overall, though, I think the movie was just straight vibes, and it was fun to watch. And I wish it did progress the multiverse timeline, a little more, because it just feels like Marvel's been throwing so much at us and making us take in all this information and stuff, but it hasn't really been showing where they're going with it. I think most of the progression has been kind of coming from behind the scenes stuff. Like Comic-Con recently, they talked about Robert Downey Jr. playing Doomsday, which was very big news, and I was going to make a video about this, but I guess I'll just talk about it now. Let me know what you guys think about it. Do you guys think Robert Downey Jr. was kind of used as nostalgia points, or do you guys think it makes sense for Tony Stark to be playing a variant of Doom in Doomsday that's coming out later on? I think it was kind of, in my personal opinion, used for nostalgia and to have fans get excited for what Marvel is going down, what route they're going down, because I just wish that this like reveal, kind of how they did some other cameos and reveals in previous movies, would have happened in the theaters on screen and let the fans see this kind of big reveal. But instead, I feel like they knew that they needed to get fans excited, so they had to announce it now. So yeah, I think it was kind of used for nostalgia and to get fans excited. Other than that, though, this Deadpool and Wolverine movie was very fun to watch, and hopefully Marvel will kind of fix some of the problems and like kind of progress like these issues to make the multiverse and everything make sense later on. And I think I would rate this movie somewhere like 7.7, somewhere between a 7 and an 8. I don't think it was great. I think it was fun, but it wasn't great. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button and comment down below what you guys think. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to stay fresh.